Hey gang, listen, in the last couple of days we've found a strategy for building the business and for really contacting and driving depth according to the master strategy that we're having 100% success with.
So yeah, this weekend 100% success.
We were taught this technique by one of the companies out on the West Coast that's tearing things up. We've implemented it over the last 3 days with Jason in town, and it's unbelievable how well it's working, right? And here's the idea, and I want to just touch on the master strategy real quick so you understand why we're implementing this. If you look at an organization like this one where there's 15 people or so, typically there's somebody in the upline, or maybe it's you, maybe there's one other person that's effectively building the business. They're going after it, they're doing their 15 plans a month, they're driving depth the way they're supposed to. Ideally, in this situation, we would want to be working with this person, we want to be really focused at the bottom of the channel, right? And let's say that this is the most effective IBO right now in the organization. Well, the effective IBO should be working down here with these new people, okay? Now, I probably, if I'm that far in depth, I don't know these people very well. We've just recently met because they've just gotten into the business, and we want to help them do what? Number one, build a list of 10 people to start with, okay? And then ideally, we want this brand new IBO to call their 10 people. And so we try to help this new person write a script that they're comfortable with, but inevitably, even if we get that new IBO to call their people, because they're scared to death, right? I mean, they're terrified to make that call. Even if we get them to make that phone call, inevitably, their 10 prospects start asking them questions that they can't answer. So it's an awkward call. If the IBO who's effective is calling their prospects for them, that's the most awkward call in the entire world. Right. You're calling a stranger for somebody that's really close to them, and it's the weirdest call ever. So very hard to make that an effective call. What we've come up with here, or what we've been taught, we didn't come up with it. Right. We can't take credit. What we've been taught is a way to make this situation and contact these 10 people so effectively in such a normal way that it works 100% of the time. Okay? Now watch this. Let me grab a script here. You guys can chime in on this, right? Okay. What if we're working with brand new IBO, okay? Let's say that this is Tom. So we're working with Tom, brand new IBO. And we say, Tom, step number one is text, let's just say Kathy is one of his 10 prospects that he wants to reach out with. Text Kathy and break the ice. So say something to the effect of, hey, what are you doing? Or, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. How's the family?
Just a normal text.
Just a normal text. Like, hey, we haven't talked in a while. And I saw on Facebook that you're doing this or you're doing that. What's going on, right? What's new? That person will likely respond at some point and say, hey, good to hear from you. How are you? Or if you said, hey, what are you doing? They're going to go, not much. What are you doing, right? At that point, what we want the new IBO to text to their prospect is, listen, a friend of mine landed on something big. I would say, Bud, a friend of mine landed on something big, right? Are you interested in adding to your income right now? A friend of mine landed on something big. You would say, my dad landed on something big. Whatever the situation is, are you interested in adding to your income right now? Is that what you guys are doing?
Right. Yep.
Okay. Anything you would add to that?
No. I mean, yeah, you can say, like, I landed on something big. Are you interested in adding income right now? Or are you interested in making more money right now? Are you up to making more money right now? And we've yet to have somebody say no. We even had a person call this individual 3 times after they text us, like, dude, what's going on? Like, you got to tell me.
What are you talking about? I want money.
Now people are asking us, tell us what you're doing. So it's pretty cool.
Now, does anybody ever say doing what?
Right.
Or what would I have to do?
Yeah.
That happens, right? Happens. So somebody says doing what, or what would I have to do? You say, the new IBO texts back and says, too much to text. Too much to text. Got a few minutes for a quick 2 to 3 minute call.
Right.
Who's going to say no?
Does anybody say no?
No one has said no. No, we booked 100%.
Right. Now, have you ever had it where the prospect replied after that and said, I don't know if I have time to add anything else, or gave you some objection?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that does happen. So either they say, yeah, I've got time for a 2 or 3 minute call, or I don't really know if I've got time to add anything to my life, or whatever the case
It actually
might
happened
be.
to us yesterday.
And how did you respond?
The exact same way we have it here. Well, of
In the
course,
script.
who does? But if you like what you hear, are you open to adding to your income right now? Because he's an insurance salesman and he wants to open his own insurance branch, and he thinks he's just the most busy guy in the world.
Everybody does, though.
Right.
Everybody
so you agree
thinks
with them. You go, well, of course, nobody has time.
Right.
But if you like what you hear in 2 to 3 minutes, are you open to adding to your income?
Yeah, we got on the webinar and it was perfect.
It was perfect. Okay? Now, that's really the extent of, well, there's one more step we want the new IBO to do. So the person, let's assume they say, yes, I'm open to a 2 to 3 minute call right now. You're either with your growing upline, okay? So this person right here is with Tom making the calls, or maybe, for example, I've got a time set up tonight at 7 o'clock with a brand new IBO who's told me that they're going to be using this text script. He's way out in Mound. I'm in Blaine. We're an hour apart. We're not going to drive and meet each other. I just know at 7 to be ready for that 3-way call.
Right.
So when he gets somebody that's ready for a call, he'll call me. We'll get his prospect on the phone. And here's the role for the new IBO. The new IBO says, hey, Kathy, hey, Justin, this is Kathy. Kathy is, and now you want to implement the attributes, right?
Right.
Kathy's one of the most ambitious people I know, one of my top picks of somebody who I would want to be in business with. Kathy, this is Justin. Justin's a friend of mine that's landed on something really big, so they make the introduction, right? Justin's going to tell you really quick what we're putting together.
Right.
That's exactly what we just did in the car on the way home.
Yeah.
And it worked?
It was, yeah.
It worked.
Right. So
Can't
what I
lose.
love about this is the new IBO, they're done at this point.
Right.
There's no other role for them to play at this point. The guy who's effective at building the business, it's so normal, it's so natural. The IBO now takes over with the prospect and says, you know, we can move into that right now. But he says, you know, hey, you want to compliment both people.
Right.
Right? So you say, hey, Kathy, super good to meet you. Tom speaks really highly of you. I'm excited that we're having a chance to talk right now. Hey, Tom, thank you so much for introducing me to Kathy. This is really great.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, posture kind of goes out the window. Because, I mean, you want to embrace them, you want to talk to them, and you want to make them feel like you're there to help them, which is important. Because sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes, you know, posture kind of gets in the way, and I'm like, you know, we kind of get a little rude or a little bit, you know, harsh. It's just a super good conversation, super happy conversation. And if you're excited, they're going to be excited. Kind of like everybody loves Justin talking because he's always really excited about everything. So
Some
It's
people
not a time to be perfectly postured.
No, not. And there's some people that do want to follow someone that has that kind of posture, but most of the people, that's kind of a turnoff for them. But if you're just friendly and energetic, everybody can relate to you.
The key is you want to make it all about that person.
Right.
You're
Right.
excited. They can tell you're going somewhere, and you make it all about them.
exactly.
And then next step is you want to go into the story. And what Jay Birmingham says, he says, listen, I've been in business with the guys we've partnered with for 27 years, and we all still like each other. Can you believe that?
Right.
Right? Now you say a different version of that.
Right. I say, you know, I've been in business with these guys for 4 years. They've been in business with each other for 35 years, and they still like each other. You know, isn't that crazy?
Just a tweak on
add
it.
Just a tweak, because I talk about them. Not, you know, I'm not 30 years old, so I have to say they've been in business for 35 years, and they still like each other.
In the car here, I did the exact same one as Jason because I've been watching him make these calls. Except, you know, I said, you know, I've been in business with them for 3 years, and they've been in business with each other for 35 years. You just tweak it to however, you know,
Right.
fits you.
And then he says, these guys have created over $9 billion in revenue around the world with the companies they partnered with.
Right.
Now that's credibility to the whole situation.
And I always add, like, you know, doesn't that sound like someone or something you'd like to be a part of? To go, oh yeah, that's a lot of money. Or doesn't that sound like someone you'd want to follow or get to know? Yeah, that sounds like a lot of money for sure. $9 billion is a lot of money.
I say something to the effect of, I've been in this industry for 24 years, and I finally have found and got the opportunity to partner with the big dogs. These
Right.
guys have created $9 billion in revenue with the companies they've been with.
Right.
Now, how exciting is that? Wouldn't you like to partner with guys that have done $9 billion in revenue worldwide?
Exactly.
So-
And it's good to get them talking. You want them to get to say yes, and it's a conversation, super friendly conversation.
Then you guys go into limited referral programs.
Right. Right. Yeah, we talk about Uber, we talk about Dropbox, we talk about all these companies being super limited referral programs, and we talk about just referring a little bit too, because I always use the example of your favorite restaurant, because no one, I don't care who you are, we talk about food. We're always hungry, so we're always telling people about our favorite restaurant. So we were talking to that guy in the car, and he's like, oh, I love tacos, and he's like, oh, I tell people about tacos all the time, and it's like, but you don't get paid for that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And we start talking about referral, then we talk about limited referral, because there's all these companies, almost every single company has a referral program. Uber, you each get a discount off of the ride, right? I mean, if we're in a group, we're going to be like, who doesn't have Uber? We're going to refer it to them. But they're not losing anything by, giving us a discount off of DirecTV. And they're limited because if I, talking to you about it, and then you go talk to Justin, I'm cut out of the picture.
Right.
So that's what we talk about. Get them thinking about limited referral programs, and then we talk about the unlimited Avocet referral.
Well, I love the line, how he closes out the limited referral part by saying, look, you got these companies, Dropbox, Uber, PayPal, Netflix. They're some of the most successful companies in the world because of their referral networking programs.
Right.
But those companies have us doing all the hustling, and they keep all the revenue.
Wouldn't you agree?
Right? Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
And the person's like, yeah, that's true. We're out doing all the promoting and hustling, and they keep all the money.
Right.
Really, it's just a series of asking the person questions. Have you heard of companies like Dropbox? Yes. Have you heard of Uber? Yes. Have you heard of Netflix? Yes. You're really just getting the person and saying a yes, mine, and then they just start agreeing with you. Like what Jay says, you're just trying to get the person to think. He starts thinking and he starts realizing all this stuff, because it's not something that everyone thinks about on a daily basis.
Yeah, we talk to each other on a daily basis and refer stuff all the time. We sat down with the gentleman yesterday. The first thing he says, have you guys seen the new X-Men? And I started laughing. Like,
We probably
this is what we
referred
did.
Zoom to 30 people yesterday.
Right.
We've referred Zoom to so many people.
Dude, we
in
should
the
see if
last
they'll
week.
give us a commission.
I'm
Completely.
serious.
So then you guys go into unlimited referral options.
Right.
And,
right.
and here's the script that I got from Jay. Here's what Jay says. What we do on a much bigger scale is that we have over $5 trillion worth of product categories that people spend money on a monthly or annual basis. We make immediate profits from these companies, plus we get shares in the revenue forever.
Right.
I love that. Right?
Right.
We get immediate profits with these companies, but we share in the revenue forever.
Right.
And then he goes, anything you would add to that?
No, I mean, that's
the
basically
line.
basically what it is.
That's
That's
Slam
perfect.
dunk
He
right
said
there.
Super
what
unlimited.
we do on a much bigger scales. We have over $5 trillion worth of product categories. When people hear $5 trillion, that they're like, wow, like
It's like every.
Uber does 53 billion,
Yeah,
and
something
we
like
have
that.
categories of $5 trillion. Like
Right.
that's it's unheard of.
Gut health, health and wellness, skincare, these categories add up to $5 trillion in global volume.
Right.
Right.
Right. So then he goes right into the close. He says, listen, prospect, out of respect to you and me, I know you're busy. I'm for sure busy. What we can do is hop on a webinar, take 30 minutes or so to give you the full details so you can make a quality decision as to whether this is a good fit. That's a key line he uses. Whether this
Right.
is a good fit for you with what you've got going on. Would that be okay?
Would it
Right.
fit into their schedule?
Would it fit? Would see if this would fit into your schedule. Jay actually says if this would be a good fit for you with what you've got going on.
Right.
Right? Is this going to complement your lifestyle?
Right.
Would that be okay?
Right.
And then he just closes. He says, look, do you prefer to do a video conference or webinar, or do you prefer to meet face to face? And what are you guys getting, about 50-50?
50-50, mostly webinars though. to be
Mostly
honest with you.
webinars.
There's a few people that do want to meet face to face.
They're like, I want to meet you.
Yeah.
Like-
When we talk about webinars, we don't want to ever disconnect. If you're like, I want to meet in person, you're not going to be like, no, I don't want to meet you in
Yeah.
person. It's just an option. Like yesterday, we were in Mankato, we were up in Duluth, and we never left Justin's house. So it was pretty cool to use that technology.
Use it.
Today in the car, we figured out that he's a very busy guy, and our schedules didn't line up very well. So I said, why don't we just do a quick 25-30-minute webinar Wednesday night at 7:30 when you get off work? He goes, that would work.
Right, right. And yeah,
You got to have a pretty ancient computer to not have webinar.
well, phone,
camera,
iPad,
built-
any
anything.
tablet, anything,
Could not
you
have
can
that
do
built
something.
You
in.
can buy a webinar from Best Buy for $30 to hook up to your computer.
A little web camera. Yeah.
Guys, his last question is, do you prefer mornings or evenings? And as soon as the person gives them an answer, now it's just a matter of opening your calendar and saying, hey, what's this morning look like or this evening look like, and scheduling the time, right?
Right.
Here's what we've just done. We've taken a technique for contacting that takes the new IBO and puts no responsibility or skill level on that new IBO whatsoever, with a 100% success rate, how excited do you think this brand new person is? Because you want to get them what they're excited. You take 10 people on their list, and in an hour's time with that brand new person, you book 10 plans for Tom down in depth.
That's unheard of.
You're leaving that meeting jacked out of your mind as the growing up line that's trying to drive depth, and this guy can't sleep for days because in his mind he's a multimillionaire.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Guys, this is a technique. We're going to take what we've typed up in these scripts. We're going to post them online for you. Take this, run with it, study it, get with your growing up support team upline from you, and let's make things happen.
See ya.
See you guys.